Okay, and welcome to the Spotlight. And today's guest is the one, the only, Mr. ICanFlyJake. Jake, how you doing, buddy?
We're doing pretty good today, chatting with you, so that's a good way to start it off. So,
Oh, mate, you're gonna make me blush.
hey, it's all right, it's all good.
Oh, matey, this one's been a while coming. I apologise for not being able to get to it sooner, but my young fella graduated high school, so that took priority for the week or so there. Um, yeah, so let's find out a little bit more about you, buddy. How old are you, for starters?
Yeah, I am 20 years old only, so
Only a
so
young
young.
fella, mate. I'm old enough to be your
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
Fuck's sakes, I
yeah.
feel
I
old
know
now.
it's in it. People, I've had a beard since. Fun fact: a beard since sophomore year in high school, though. So ever since I've been having videos, people always thought I was much older. So yeah, yikes.
And family. Obviously, I'm guessing you don't have any kids.
No kids, no kids.
Got a missus?
Yeah, not married, but girlfriend of 3 years. So
Wow, that's pretty impressive,
one
especially
day.
for a young fella, mate.
Yeah, I mean, lucky back in junior year of high school, so it's just been going since then. We'll see where it goes from there. But
Yep. And what do you do for a living, mate? Is DayZ your only thing, or do you do something in the real world?
well, I'm a university student, so I'm going to college to be a computer engineer. Hopefully,
Ah,
I'm a sophomore year in it, so got 2 years left, and well, I mean, rest of this year too, so quite a bit, 2.5 years. It's going good so far, but yeah, that's basically full time with that, and then squeezing YouTube in.
yep.
It's the other plan. So.
No worries. And do you have any other hobbies outside of YouTube and gaming?
Yeah, I mean, I like the outdoors a decent amount too. I really enjoy like fishing and a little bit of hunting, but more so fishing. And then
Mm-hmm.
let's see, like going to the lake and we'll do wakeboarding is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yep, wakeboarding. I'm not like super good at it, but I like it a lot. And then oh, we used to go snow skiing every year, but since college started, haven't got to go as much. But I really love snow skiing. Love
Yep.
the snow.
Now, the big question I have for you, mate, is you've got one of the most interesting names of any content creator I've seen.
Oof.
What is the origin of I Can Fly Jake?
There's
Every time I
not.
hear it, every time I hear it,
I
I have to
know.
say, I think of that song. I believe I can
Yeah.
fly.
Yep. Me and my friends have sang that many times to make fun of it. It's not. I mean, I'll shut down any good hopes of a story. There's not much to it. I really just back in when I was in seventh grade creating the channel, seventh or eighth grade, I don't remember. And I remember just staring at the username box, and I was thinking like to the channels I knew, and they all had these random names like Captain Sparkles, and I mean, I don't know if I can think of it, like random names. I was like, dude, I was like, all right, so I don't want my name. Well, my name's in it, but I didn't want it to just be my name. So I was like, I just need to do something random. And I somewhat regret it because it's kind of like a statement. And I actually play a decent amount of Rocket League. And in
Yep.
Rocket League, you fly with cars, so people think I'm like bragging, but it's just my username. So there's not much to it except I chose a random name. That song was maybe in my head, and my name is Jacob, or Jake. So
Yep.
that explains that part, of course. So that's that though.
I was hoping it was going to be a really fascinating, interesting story or
No,
something.
I didn't crash in a plane. I can't fly a plane, so there's nothing. And I can't fly myself necessarily in
Yeah.
games and stuff. But anyways,
Okay, so who or what got you into gaming? You said you started your YouTube channel in the seventh grade?
yes, I believe it was maybe the end of seventh grade. Yeah, I believe so. See, I've had two channels, but the other one, everybody has. I don't know. Maybe you had a first channel too, but that was just
No.
crap videos, and oh, it was this first one, so you kept with it. Now, I don't know why I didn't just delete the videos on that one, but you said, yeah, it was seventh grade when I started YouTube. Now, I don't know how far back you've looked into the channel history, but okay, you said who got me into gaming, and that would be probably my cousin back when I was really little playing. We played a lot of Pokemon. I don't know if you played Pokemon ever,
Oh
but
yeah, I played Pokemon.
okay, yeah, I started on Emerald version, but then I'd gone back and played a few, and then I played all of them up till I think I played Black and White, and that was the last generation I ever played.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're almost exhausting the possibilities. I can't remember what series it was, but when I saw they had that trash bag fucking Pokemon, and I was just like,
Yep.
really? And then there was the vanilla
Yep.
soft serve cone looking one as well, and I went, oh, you are really digging the fucking bottom of the
Yeah,
barrel
they're
now
out of
for names
ideas. There's
for.
too, and I can't blame them. I mean, there's only so many creatures you can
Yeah.
dream up, I guess. I don't know.
For me, I can't go past Pokemon Red. I'm a Charizard man. I love my fire
Okay.
Pokemon, and I love from. I used to even watch the cartoon, and I just loved Charizard's attitude.
I think that yeah, the fires were cool. Me and my cousin and my brother always played, like us three, and for some reason it was just decided that every time I'd be water type, my cousin be fire, and little brother be grass. So
Yeah.
just had to be that way. And I was fine with it though. Water all the way.
What is your favorite game of all time?
Oh, it would probably be a tie. Now, I would currently stick it on DayZ, but with everything, it would probably be between DayZ and Minecraft, which I don't know if you know this, but I completely started my channel on Minecraft back in the day, so Minecraft Pocket Edition. So
I think a lot of people did, mate.
yep, yeah, not too unusual, except that that's where my initial success was though for a long time. So that
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Minecraft and DayZ probably. I don't play any Minecraft anymore, but otherwise DayZ for sure. Really enjoy it.
They're both, in to me, kind of similar games. Both open world survival. Um, yeah,
Yeah, they
I,
can.
I did.
They do scratch the same. They scratch that a little bit of the same itch with the non-direct. Like you don't have a direction in the game, but yet it's still multiplayer. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
yeah. Do you remember your first PC?
Uh, well, I mean, my parents had like a really crappy laptop that I tried to play Minecraft on with, well, okay, you mean like personal
Yeah.
PC, would you say? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was I got it, I believe at the right before freshman year of high school or right at the end of it, and it was just I believe it was $500, and I'll tell you, I knew nothing about them at the time. Like I
Hmm.
didn't build it. This is really just a crappy computer, and I remember I thought it would come with a monitor and a mouse and keyboard, and when it came here, I didn't. I don't know what I expected, but it didn't have a monitor, and I was like, "How do I play it?" So then I had to wait to get a monitor, and just all my friends thought it was dumb because I figured it came with a monitor, and just I did not know what was going on, and so things have changed. Now I'm doing a computer engineering major, so things have
Yeah.
changed from then. But no, that computer was crap, and over time I've just what's fun. Okay, so the computer I have to this day, so 5 or 6 years later, is the same install of Windows as that computer. So like 6 months later, I wanted to play Battlefield. It could not run Battlefield, so I upgraded the graphics card, and then you upgrade the processor, and like it's the exact same computer. It just has every single part has been over time swapped out. So
Yeah.
kind of crazy to think of. It's like a brain transplant or mind transplant. I don't know.
What about consoles?
Let's see. I mean, I started with a game. Well, I started with a Game Boy SP and then a GameCube.
Hmm.
Then I think a Wii. Then me and my brother bought a used PS3, and then it was straight to computer because I wanted to play
Yeah.
Minecraft. And then I found all these other games, and that led me away from Minecraft.
Do you still play anything on console at all?
I actually just got. I mean, I wouldn't say so. Like, I don't even have my own to this day. I mean, my roommates here have an Xbox, so we'll play some Halo Reach on there occasionally.
Hmm.
Which Halo's a lot of fun. I mean, that's a game I don't know. We all used to play probably when
Yeah.
we were younger, but hopefully it comes to PC one day. That'd be sweet.
I loved
Part of that
Halo Reach.
console.
I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, it's fun. The Forge was really cool. Building your own stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, cool game.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about your content creation side of things. So why did you start making videos yourself?
I mean, I really enjoyed the. Gosh, it's hard to say exactly. I'm sure it always starts with who you watch on YouTube in the first place, and it seemed. I think I thought it was easy when you see these people just like recording
Yeah.
the like Call of Duty commentaries. In fact, that I mentioned that old channel, and on there I would just point my iPhone screen at the TV as like my cousin would play Call of Duty. And for some reason, I thought people would watch that. I mean, it's just so funny what you think is entertaining when it's not at all. Um, and I will say YouTube was probably easier back then because a lot of gaming content really was just commentaries with almost no editing.
Yeah.
And so I thought I could do that. And anyways, that channel, the last video I posted to it, I mean, I still have the channel, like I use it for subscriptions, and it was just a Minecraft Pocket Edition update review. But I didn't have a screen recorder for an iPod, so I like pointed my iPhone at the iPod and like, oh, just such a bad video. And then I ended up transitioning over to the new channel. But again, still we're talking seventh grade here. My first video, I still didn't know how to record footage, so like it's just a slideshow of an update video. Still on the channel though. It's my first video,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I guess at that point I was watching a lot of people, like I said, like Captain Sparkles, and I'm trying to think who else I watched. Well, there was some Minecraft Pocket Edition YouTubers, and since I didn't have a PC, like I mean, I actually ran my channel up till over 5,000 subscribers. I ran it completely off of an iPad Mini, first generation. I made my thumbnails on there. I edited on it. Gosh, I mean, everything was done on that
That's
iPad.
pretty
I
impressive,
didn't have
mate.
a PC.
That's pretty
I had a
impressive.
and what's funny is I still make my thumbnails often on mobile just because I have a lot of the presets on there.
Yeah.
Using like Adobe Photoshop Touch and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I did it all off the iPad because I had to jailbreak it to get a screen recorder and all that. That was the start of everything. But oh man, yeah.
Adobe Photoshop scares the crap out of me. I've looked at it a couple of times and just gone, nah, too
No,
complicated.
I'm not good at it. Yeah, not good. I use Premiere, but
I
no
use
Photoshop.
a nice little thing called Canva, Canva. Very, very, very easy thing to make thumbnails on.
Really? Okay. And is it for a desktop application?
Yeah, it's
Or
a
is it?
desktop application, and I believe you can also do it on mobile. I think I've got it downloaded. I've just never opened it to look at it, but Canva is a very, very easy. It's one of those ones where the images snap lock into place and it shows you if they're lined up and all the rest of it. For an idiot like me, mate, it's gold. Yeah.
Does sound useful.
Okay. What to date would you say is your best video?
Oh man, I'd have to scroll through them maybe. Best video. It's hard to say because you think about how much editing a video takes, and often the ones that take the most editing don't get the views. It's great when that lines up, but best video, man, I'd almost have to scroll through. If I had to guess or put one out there, if it was DayZ related, it might be the tutorial. I have a video called just how to start off in DayZ standalone, and it didn't take a lot of editing, but I really thought a lot about how to just go with it live because I didn't want people to click off the video, and I felt if I did a live commentary on it versus post commentary, and I positioned myself at Berezino and just sort of started off as a fresh one and kind of transitioned through the city as you would, saying hey, and like I found the things I needed as I gave the tips on how you should start your character because I knew people often hear hey, find a water pump, hey, look for apples, do these things, and like they don't know where they're at. They don't actually see it's that easy. So I don't know. It just ended up being a really good choice of city, title, and content to where that's my number one DayZ video today. It didn't have a lot of good editing in it, to be honest. And if we're talking editing, I have actually one of my recent videos. It's like a funny moments kind of compilation. Took a decent amount of editing, but so it's hard to say. I guess I couldn't put to end off. I hate to say it, but I couldn't put a name on it.
You got some good views of that video. I'm looking at your channel now. 137,000 views on
yes,
that. How
that
to start
one
off in DayZ.
did very well. In fact, I need to make another one for beta because so much has
Yes.
changed for control wise.
But you compare that to your Minecraft stuff, mate. 2 million views on your How to Play Minecraft PC and other games on iPad.
Yep, it's so fun. That video is crap. I mean, honestly, it was just that was in my transition period of like I quit MCPE, or Minecraft Pocket Edition. I'd swapped to trying to do Battlefield, trying to do these random games. Nothing was finding success, and that video just was one of the myths that happened. I have no idea why it blew up, but I mean, it's nothing special about it. To be honest with you, one there.
That's the beauty of YouTube, mate. You have no fucking idea why things happen.
Yep,
you can only guess. They provide you all these great fucking analytics, and half the time you're still left scratching your head, going, "What did I do to make this video popular?" Or "What did I do to make this video suck?"
Yep, because you wish it was about time into the video. You wish it was about how much editing you put in and how much planning and all that, but nothing. It's not that at all. So it's just
exactly.
It's funny.
What recording software do you use?
I currently and probably will forever now. I now use the Elgato game capture, like the one that plugs into the oh gosh, I can't even think of the word now, but in the slot in the computer where graphics cards go. And I love it, except that it limits the hertz on my main monitor because it only outputs 60 hertz, so I can't use the full it's only like 75. But if I ever were to get a better monitor, that Elgato for computer, if you record in the same system you play on anyways, that's the issue. Obviously, I don't have the money to be buying extra computers and all that yet, but Yeah, no, I use Elgato. In the past, I'd used a little bit of NVIDIA Shadowplay. I think you mentioned you use that.
Yep.
It's a really good software too. But I used it just because it limits the frames, or like you get more frames while you're like streaming or recording by a little bit. Shadowplay is pretty fantastic, but it's really nice
Shadowplay
software.
is a lot better now that they've added the split audio. When it didn't have split audio, it was really ordinary. But now that you can split the audio tracks, that was a big improvement they made.
So before you'd have to what, like your voice would be combined with the game audio all the time?
Yep.
Oof, yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I can do.
What about editing software?
I use Adobe Premiere. I believe it's Adobe Premiere CC 2014. So
You haven't signed up for the subscription one yet?
Not for the cloud, no. I liked Adobe Premiere. I used to use Sony Vegas, but back in high school, they had a TV productions class, and I'd heard Premiere was nice, and we were going to use it in class, so I swapped over. I mean, in the end, they all do about the same. It's about the same thing.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you use?
I use Adobe Premiere.
Premiere? Okay.
Yep. Do the subscription one. So.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, there you go. Does that give you Photoshop too, or is that an extra price?
No, that's an extra price. All I get is Adobe Premiere Pro and Media Encoder.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you ever use Media Encoder, or do you just do
mate, I am a complete iTard. Is what I call it. When it comes to all these iDevices and everything like that, I struggle. I actually only just realised that I could queue my editing and then export it straight over to Media Encoder and do it there, and then I could continue editing. All this time if I was doing multiple videos, I'd have to wait until it had finished editing or rendering one, and oh my god, it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? God, I'm an
this
idiot.
whole time you could have been doing it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about you and DayZ, mate. Did you play the mod?
No, I did not. I have played it since, but did not play the mod.
What do you think about the mod?
How about oh gosh, I mean, well, I think I have a slightly unique view, only because, and I played. This might have been one of your future questions, but I got standalone the night of release because one of my best friends played the mod a lot. Like, he'd been playing it since he was very little. I mean, because he's my age, and so he played it whenever the mod came out. So I think it's a little over. I think nostalgia is what really makes people think that they like. I mean, I do think the mod was great. I think it. I mean, everybody knew Armor 2. Like, everyone already accepted it for how bad the frames were, and and all that. So to see something like DayZ pop up in the middle of it, it didn't matter that the bugs were there, because they were there. Honestly, it seems like in all the other mods too, for whatever various things there were for Armor 2. So I think it was great. It's just hard to say how much of what people remember being great is the nostalgia, because I genuinely think if standalone came out as a separate game before the mod ever came out, people would have the same memories. So I don't know. It's hard to say, because I really just think some people seem to act like they'd like if standalone was designed around what made the mod fun, and I just really think that's not a good way to go. Yet modders can do that now with the game, so that's pretty fantastic.
I agree with you, mate. I think a lot of people have got rose-colored glasses when they look back at it.
Hey, we gotta be sensitive. Who don't know who's listening?
Yeah. What is it about DayZ that makes you love it so much?
I think it is. One thing was the map, and I didn't actually know that until recently, or just having how big the world is and the non-directionalness of it. And I don't even think I knew that's what made me love it until points where I've gotten bored of certain things. And so, like, as you get better at the game, for instance, you learn to navigate the map much better. And you learn where loot is, and you learn where not to go. And as cool as that is for efficiency, it takes out the adventure part of it a lot. And I remember really enjoying, like, getting lost and finding a new city, something I'd never seen. And I really just think the whole exploration of the map is so big. I mean, it's unimaginable. I mean, of course, if you played like Minecraft or something, like they're huge too, but this forces you to. I mean, you're worried about your hunger and your thirst as you're running. And there's just so much to explore and to worry about as you go. And it did initially keep me constantly engaged. But as I've improved, it makes me really want some new maps. Actually, I'm really excited to try new maps that are good, because I really enjoy the exploration of the world in general. But after 4 years of Chernarus, you really know not every inch. I mean, you still find things, but like, you know it pretty well.
Yeah.
So
It only takes you about 10 to 20 seconds whenever you spawn to work out where you are if you don't know
Oh yeah,
immediately.
exactly. Well, yeah, and then I mean, you asked, I guess, what else I liked or what I liked about it, and I guess also it's just that for everybody, it should be the unique experiences that the game provides because of the non-directionalness or
Yeah.
non-directionalness. You just every encounter's its own encounter. Oh my gosh, and my heart used to beat so much. I mean, I used to die probably 10 times for every kill I got, and like that was fine with me. Like it was frustrating, but like it would just make your heart beat like no other game. I mean,
Yeah.
it was something so unique for me that it just kept me hooked for that one reason. Even if the rest of the game was so boring until those encounters, they were worth it. So that's
Yep.
cool.
If you could add anything to the game, what would it be and why?
Add anything? Well, like I said, the maps, but that's coming. So I would probably go with vehicles, and changing the system a bit with them, or at least, well, I guess bikes. Actually, I would say bikes.
Yeah.
And some,
Push bikes or motorbikes?
I would say, okay, honestly, either. I think so. For the functionality, bikes fit a bit better. Like you could put a lot of them in the world, and they'd still be like semi-slow. The problem is, I really don't. I think it's going to ruin the atmosphere a little bit if everybody was riding around on bikes. Apparently, in the mod, people always rode bikes a lot. Did you play the mod a lot yourself?
Not a lot. I got a handful of
Okay,
hours
I've
in it.
I've I've heard I've heard that bikes were just the way to go. They were everywhere, apparently on some servers, and a lot of people want them back. But I think bikes or motorbikes, either of the two, some sort of smaller, more available. I don't know. I really think vehicles are too sparse right now. So changing that up in some way, whether that's increasing some other type of not as good vehicle like a bike, or just increasing the amount of them in
Yeah.
the world. Yeah, which of course, again, that's a lot of it's doable by modders. So it's really hard to say what should be added. Um, yeah, maybe more predators too. I don't know. I know you didn't ask for a list, but I really think that more natural predators besides the zombies.
Yeah.
Wolves are really. I don't know. It's a really good experience when you're at like the northwest of the map and you hear some wolves howling. Like it always strikes a.
It does.
I don't
It
know.
really does.
Yeah, it's
Especially when
really
you're in
cool.
that early stage before you've gotten fully geared and you've only got, you
Yes.
might only have an IZH or a Mosin with a handful of rounds and a pistol and you're like, oh fuck, this is not good.
Yep. That is a pack exactly because the zombies are a little. They're kind of easy to deal with, but the wolves, I mean, there's something. I don't know. I really think something like a bear, or I don't even know what else you'd find in the landscape there, but a bear would be very, very cool.
Who is your favorite DayZ content creator?
I would say, I mean, it used to be Frankie on PC and 1080p, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that, or not obviously, but a lot of people really liked his stuff. Um, Probably, I don't know if I say it right. Minder, is that how you
Yeah,
say
that's
it?
how you say it, Minder, yep.
Okay, Minder. I really like his the series. I believe it was on. I think he does a lot of. Is it DayZ Underground he plays sometimes?
Yes, the Brothers in Arms
Yes.
one.
Yep, those are really good. That and then I really enjoyed Deadly Slaw back when he did DayZ. I completely
Yes.
understand what he's done. I mean, it's his full-time job, and he had to find something that was more profitable. I completely get it. And he enjoys Tarkov, but I really enjoyed his DayZ videos on Underground too. I don't know why. It's something they were really. It's like he was streaming, but then his VODs on YouTube, they were edited enough to where it didn't necessarily feel like he was talking to the Twitch chat. It felt like it was still a video. I enjoyed his stuff, so probably Deadly Slav and Minder. They're
Yeah.
really good.
That always impresses me, those guys who can both stream and make content out of what they do. And I've got to give Minder some big kudos there because Deadly pretty much just rips his upload and puts it up with a short intro,
Yeah.
whereas Minder puts so much editing and he's constantly thinking about it at the time. If you've ever watched him stream, and when he knows he's recording for a story, he's able to manage his stream, manage his community, the chat and everything like that, and still produce some absolutely first class content. So big shout out to Minder on that.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I only tuned in a couple times and I wasn't sure. So like when he does his Brothers in Arms thing like you're talking about, was that done live? Like or was that
Sorry,
done
Brothers
in a
of
live
DayZ,
stream,
I
most
think
likely?
it's called.
Brothers of DayZ.
Yeah, a lot of that is recorded live. Yep.
Wow, that's really impressive because you got to just ignore that. If he gets a $1,000 donation coming in, you got to just act like nothing
Yeah.
happened, and because he does like some sort of kind of role play-ish. It's kind of like a hybrid, but it's very interesting. I really enjoy it. It reminds me of how Frankie would do his Um, like it felt like he was role playing in the environment, but he
Yeah.
would not be afraid to mention he's playing a game or something. So.
Mm-hmm. Status reports, do you read them? And if so, what do you think of them? Of course you read them because you do videos on them. What do you honestly
Yes.
think of them though?
I think that they're a really good idea. The problem is okay, I definitely read them. I read them all the way through. I read them day of, usually in class or something. I mean, I'll be walking about campus about the time they come out usually, and I'll read them as I'm walking around. I'm very excited for them always, and it's generally a letdown, and that's not necessarily the developer's fault, especially right now. Like, I mean, there was one last week, and for one, I've been busy with exams and Thanksgiving break, but it just didn't have much content in it because obviously they're focusing on bug fixing right now. And the problem is that the status report makes them, man, they almost feel like they got to come out with some kind of worthwhile update each week every 2 weeks. But a lot of times, a lot of the work they put in is going to be, I guess, back end or bug fixing, and there's just not much to say about that. So it builds a lot of anticipation, but it gets a lot of people's hopes up, and I think that's just the nature of it. There's not much you can do. So I mean, I really enjoy them when there's stuff to be coming out, and I think once 1.0 is released, I think they're going to go back to, showing animations with the guns they're working on. I don't know. I mean, once they get 1.0 out, I really do think they're going to be able to crack down on content. I don't necessarily, we could talk for days about the controversy about 1.0 and its release, but I think once it's out, either way, they're going to be just supposedly all their efforts can be pushed towards getting helicopters in and more vehicles and more guns. And so I think those status reports are going to be very juicy, and I'm excited to see those for sure.
What, if any, advice would you give to the dev team if they happen to watch this interview?
Man, I would say that I hope they know when they make a decision. When I genuinely do believe that sometimes the majority isn't right about things, and so when they make a decision, I hope if it's one that goes against the majority, they can be just absolutely sure that they at least they believe it's right, and I mean like the majority of their own team. And so I sometimes I have a suspicion that they don't get the opinions of the entire team, or they get them and then maybe ignore them, and maybe they still think that's what's right. Just because I don't know if you ever see Brian Hicks comment on things still,
Yep.
on the Reddit and on Twitter, and I enjoy his transparentness because he seems to just be pretty raw with what he thinks about things, and it's pretty cool. But it makes me think that there's a lot of disagreements within their own office to think that he was in such a leadership position and he's totally supportive of them, but he has his own quite different opinions about certain directions they're going. So it makes me think other people do too. And so I would say make sure you're getting obviously I do believe they're listening to the community. I saw Eugen. As much as I may have disagreed with what they're doing with 1.0, it was really cool to see him stay up so late and talk to people in Discord, and do all this chatting. Like that was really
I'm
impressive.
with you. I disagree what they're doing, but they've got their reasons for doing it, and they did communicate.
Maybe they know better
eventually.
I don't know.
They could have communicated it better to begin with, but they eventually got there. And whilst we don't agree,
yeah, exactly. And I just hope that, and I think that was a great move, and I think that it hopefully clicked with a lot of minds, at least content creators. I don't think enough people probably saw how much work he put in, but he really did put a lot in. And I just hope they make sure that everyone, at least on the team, even agrees. So, I mean, obviously, I can't give advice as a developer, but just making sure you make moves that, if you're going to go against the community, at least everyone in your office hopefully agrees on it too. But yeah.
What's your biggest gripe with DayZ?
I would say, I mean, obviously the changes recently would be my gripe, but that's more with the dev team. So, I mean, just the release of 1.0 and what's being cut. I've been a very big hyper for beta and standalone 1.0, ever since the talk of a new engine and all this came about. But a lot of that hype was built on, I think, a little bit of misleading, or at least they didn't know that it would go out this way. So it really sounded like the way it was going to go was they make this new engine, and then everything that was there before would kind of just work on it, and then they would be able to add new things. So it was like, hey, we're going to make a new engine. Everything from 0.62 and before will be in the game, and then before 1.0, we're going to, or by 1.0 in beta, we're going to have new stuff, even, helicopters and maybe new guns and like these new things. And I was like, okay, wow, if this engine is built to support everything that was already in the game, there's gonna be a lot of new stuff, and it's just a bunch of it's just like daisies and flower fields. Like it's just gonna be great news. And so it was really easy to talk about and hype up because the way it was being portrayed seemed really great. But the reality was that they actually they made this good new engine and all this stuff, but I think that they were overconfident in how obviously they were and how easy it would be to put everything from the old game in. Because my biggest gripe is the fact that not much seems new. Besides, it's hard to say base building is probably the only outwardly really new thing. The engine feels really new, but we've had that for a year almost. And so my biggest gripe would be the overhype with how easy it's going to be to get the 0.62 and before stuff in, because I hate missing anything from 0.62. Like I really just hate there being even the smallest feature gone. So that really just strikes a chord. And I think it's going to be a long time before it's ever filled to the brim the way 0.62 was. So that would be the gripe there. But yeah, that's just with leadership there or with the capability of the dev team. And I get that some things are hard, but I think some things were overhyped by them.
The new engine and the beta and full release were the promised land, and we were all so excited to be going to it. And then we got there and it was kind of, it's a fixer-upper.
Oh, it is. Yes.
I thought we were moving into something that was going to be all good to go, and no, there's a lot of work needed here. Doors don't work properly, and noises don't work properly, and It was a bit of a double-edged sword, but
no, the promised land, right?
I call it the best worst state it's ever been in. You look at the core of the game and you go, it is fucking amazing. Just some of the things just work so well, and you go, it is so close to brilliance. I won't say perfection because I honestly don't think DayZ will ever be perfect.
No.
I think the day that there was not a bug in DayZ, everyone would go, oh, wow.
Yep.
That doesn't feel like DayZ now. DayZ's always meant to have something funny about it. But yeah, we'll see. Time will tell.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to the most in DayZ?
I'm looking forward to hopefully playing with more people in game.
Yeah.
And mods, or at least things that change the game up. I mean, I think the game is too predictable. Now, of course, we have thousands of hours in it, so that's it's different. It's hard to say what somebody new to the game will experience. In fact, my little brother is very curious about buying the game, but I'm very weary to suggest him to get it yet because I kind of want it to be in a state I find really fun before I have him pay for it.
Yeah.
So that's just an interesting. I cannot for the life of me try to picture what it would be like to play it for the first time right now. I don't know if it would feel the same, and that may be a good thing. If it feel better or feel worse. But for myself, it feels too predictable. I every time, like when I tried to do live streams, I found myself 9 times out of 10, if not 19 times out of 20, going from the coast to one inland town, then to Staroy into the Northwest Airfield. It was rinse repeat every single time. And I don't know if that's due to changes they've made or due to me just finding that to be the most efficient route. But the repeatability in that sense of just feeling like too predictable. That was a great grammar. Just has gotten tiring. So I'm excited for either loot change ups. So whether it's up to the server owners or modders, new maps in general to make me have to explore and find things out on my own again. New weapons to have to search for the ammo for. New locations. I mean, I know what buildings not to look in for loot. I hear my friends trying out the game and they're like, oh, we should go look in the school. Like, I bet we can find. It's like, no, there's no loot in the schools. Don't even try.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm gonna check the apartments. There's probably a lot of don't look in apartments. Like, why is there no loot in there? So I really think that with modders and server owners getting more control, and hopefully the dev team too, change ups in loot and maps are really what I'm looking forward to because it's a little too predictable right now. Like, I don't feel like as much as this game had unique experiences, it's hard to force them now and make them happen. So I don't find myself opening up the game because the adventures I have are only going to happen with player interaction. I've experienced the Chernars too much at this point.
I'll ask this question. You've kind of already answered it though, but just in case there's anything else you want to add, what are you most looking forward to in regards to modding?
Yeah, with modding, I think I'm looking forward to. I'll say simply everyone being satisfied. I know that doesn't really like what kind of mod I'm looking for. That doesn't answer that, but I think everybody wants so many different things from the game.
Yeah.
So And I feel like I have to answer to people in my comment section when they have all these so many different opinions. Like I really actually wish some of them would go and scroll through the comments to see like how they might think one change is so obvious, and then if they scroll down 3 comments, they'd see somebody else praising that change. And I understand everybody's views on that, but the problem is they can't. The single base game can't have that. So I think modding really is going to split up everybody into what they enjoy, and I think that's totally fine. And I think that's what DayZ and like Arma is all about. So I'm really excited to try all those things, whether it's PvP. I don't know. I look forward to some really custom. I'm trying to think of like the prison island used to have some really cool. There were some custom servers that would like spawn you there, and they'd do like prison roleplay stuff. And I don't know if you've seen the content around that. It was always really fun. And like DayZ RP, those sort of experiences. Now that those communities have more control over the game in total, or even DayZ Underground. I just keep thinking of these good servers. DayZ Underground can build maybe safe zones or trading camps that are custom to their server, and I just think that's really going to be fun. So custom things on the map, and a lot of just custom settings to satisfy different experiences, because the base game can't give you all of them. You're going to have to turn to mods, and that's just fine. And I look forward to that. So yeah.
Time for the rapid fire questions, mate. Are you ready?
Sure, let's do it.
Just say the first thing that comes into your mind. And favourite long-range weapon?
Mosin.
Least favourite long-range weapon?
ICH rifle, if that is one.
Favourite auto weapon?
AKM.
Least favourite auto weapon?
The rack, PM73 rack, I think it's called.
Yeah, everyone hates on that poor thing.
Yeah, the recoil is insane.
KOS?
Necessary, but annoying.
First person or third person?
First person.
Favourite server?
Right now it's Trump's Wall because it's the only thing full with a lot of people, but DayZ Underground would probably be my favorite, for the future in history. Sorry, that's a long answer.
That's all good. Favourite place on the map?
Green Mountain.
Public or private servers?
Private for sure.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask a question before I go into the viewer questions, because as I communicated with you, we did not get a lot of questions for you. One question I did have, which summarised pretty much how funny your fan base is the person has since deleted the question, meaning they were probably more of a troll. But when I put up the promo saying I'm doing ICanFlyJake, they said, who?
Yep. No, that's fine.
You've got almost 43,000 subs, yet in the DayZ community, you're still so relatively unknown. That blows my mind.
I know, and it's funny because I take no offense to it. Not that you even wondered if I would. It's funny. It's hard to explain a little bit, and so part of the reason is, like I said, that I would say I want to stay close to. Gosh, it's a long answer because
no, take your time,
like
mate.
I said, my channel was built on Minecraft Pocket Edition, and I say built. I mean, I hit 20,000 subscribers, with only Minecraft only.
Yep.
And so that's almost half of my subscribers, kind of. So then I start playing DayZ and all these other PC games, and I'm very tired of Minecraft Pocket Edition, or Minecraft in general, let alone the mobile version. Like if anything, I'm going to play the desktop version, but that was way oversaturated on YouTube. So I quit it altogether to do stuff I liked. And people weren't, it's so funny. I'd go from 2,000 to 3,000 views in every video on Minecraft, play a Battlefield game. It's like 70% dislikes and like 200 views. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I get it. Like people want to watch Minecraft, but this is crazy. So in the end, and I was losing like hundreds of subscribers a day. Again, I totally understand it. In fact, honestly, the more of them that wanted to leave, the better, because like if they don't want to watch new content, I get it. But you don't want to hurt your ratio of who's subscribing and who's watching. So I didn't upload a whole lot for about a year. And I lost, it's so hard to keep track of what subscribers gained and lost. Like to this day, I'm still losing a lot of subscribers. Like the numbers go up, but I lose a lot per upload because people will say, oh yeah, I don't watch this guy anymore. And that's good. Like I understand that, get him out here. I keep saying that, but
trying to keep a healthy to this day, I really subscriber base.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I have basically, I know about 20,000 subscribers plus are from DayZ, but over that, I don't know how many have unsubscribed. I don't know if I lost 10,000 that were Minecraft people. I don't know if there's 10,000. I'm sure there's at least 10,000 inactive. But anyways, I grew in the community, or not even in the community. It's funny because I think I applied what I had learned through growing in that Minecraft Pocket Edition community, which everyone there I was very involved in. And I think I applied what kind of videos I made there to DayZ because there were similar games. Minecraft Pocket Edition was a game lacking content and constantly trying to catch up to the PC version.
Yep.
And DayZ is trying to catch up to everybody's expectations.
Yeah.
And is constantly being updated. So I was able to do these sort of update videos with opinions, and I mean they're not hard. I mean I'm not gonna try to say like, oh, I'll put so much. I mean it's just putting your opinion along with trying to explain status reports and the effects of the updates they're putting in. That was like kind of the core of growth around the channel, sort of. I mean, and then tutorials. So I think I would say at least half of my DayZ viewers are newer players. So that takes away from their involvement. I've noticed that in the DayZ community, for some reason, people on Twitter don't have a lot of followers. And I know that doesn't say a whole lot, except that I think a lot of the viewers aren't that involved with other YouTubers necessarily. So I think that a lot of my community is newer players or players that have just been more interested in tutorials, and they don't even go outside that. Like I wouldn't be surprised if most of my viewers don't also. I bet a lot of them don't watch people like Minder or Running Man Z. Like I've mentioned their names, and I remember getting a few comments like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "How are you subscribed to me, but you play DayZ, but you don't know people that are much bigger or been around longer?" So I really think that just a lot of my viewers are
outside the bubble of the DayZ community.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope to break into that one day. I think it's funny with YouTube, the way it works, and I mean, your channel, I can see blowing up one day. It just takes one video to boost you way higher, and then those viewers stay. So I think it's gonna take a video of mine bursting and that maybe gets that people see from the community, and in that case, their viewers get suggested the video. I've looked at what videos suggest my videos, and often it's not. These other big YouTubers, so it's just interesting to see that. Like you said, it's outside the bubble, and I think one day it'll have to swap over. But I find that surprising too. You're totally right. I mean, I don't follow. I've recently started following a lot of those other YouTubers, but I mean, none of them follow me. That's fine. They don't know who I am. It's funny. So yeah, I don't blame your audience, and if any of them are listening now, welcome. I'm Jake. So yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the couple of questions that we do have. The first one is from Belzelga. As a starting small YouTuber myself for DayZ, where do you think DayZ is at the moment, and where do you think it might go in 2019 popularity-wise on YouTube?
On YouTube, man, I'd say as a small YouTuber, you definitely have something to fear, and that's bigger people returning. In fact, I think all of us still fear that. Like, I mean, it's as soon as DayZ, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. In fact, I want them to. It's a good thing overall. But it will definitely saturate the content. So right now you have a small amount of people watching, but an even smaller amount of people making videos because there's not much. I mean, I hate to say it, but like people making content, a lot of content revolves around money a lot of times if they're busy. And if there's not many people watching, you're not going to get a lot of people uploading. And so you have room to kind of get into that right now if you're a new YouTuber. I think right now you have about a couple months until the game releases 1.0. And if it's good, then you're going to see Shroud and Summit, and I mean, just honestly, anybody you can think of is going to start making videos again on it. And it's going to become saturated. I mean, they're going to put stuff out. They're going to put their stream pods out every day, like you said. And like you said, nothing wrong with what they're doing, especially but it'll be like Deadly Slob style uploads where they can just stream every day and then cut it up, hire their editor or whatever, just to cut it up and make a DayZ video. And soon we'll be putting thousands of videos a day or a week, whatever.
We'll look at Shroud with PUBG, exactly what you're talking about. He's got someone who does the edit, creates the thumbnail of a good game that he has. I don't know how well that will transition because the editor, unless they've got the mind of someone like Deadly Slob knew how to do it. As I know I said before, it was kind of like, he pretty much just strips the upload and uploads it, but he still has to do a little bit of editing in there. He can't just upload a boring half an hour of running around on that. He knows the time to choose.
A lot of music. Music is hard. It takes a lot of time actually to.
I think some of the other editors, when Shroud's getting his footage uploaded from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds or Blackout now that he's playing, it's pretty fucking easy for him to do it. All they've got to do is just the 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the game, bang, upload it, and then end it. And create a thumbnail. That is fucking, Jesus, my boy could do it. And he has never done any editing before. I could stand there and just say, yep, strip that, put it on there, yep, upload. That's it. That's fucking simple.
Very, yeah. So that's true. It might be a little bit of a deterrent from that.
Yeah.
And I think it'll lead to DayZ content has to be a little bit edited, yeah, because to be fair, there's so many boring moments in DayZ. Like it's a lot of running.
99% boredom,
fine,
1% sheer
but
adrenaline.
Yep. So it definitely takes some more time. So hopefully that leads to a little bit cooler content. And I think that's why you see with PUBG, in my opinion, there's not a big YouTube community around it, and even like Blackout. Fortnite does, but I think that's a little bit different. But when it comes to PUBG, I noticed the YouTube community is there's so many people playing the game, but I think in DayZ's peak, there was more views coming into DayZ videos than there were to PUBG videos, at least from what I've seen. And I think the reason is that DayZ is it's way more entertaining to watch the highlights of than PUBG, because PUBG is much more just fast paced. So I see that even if DayZ's player base reaches numbers of 40 or 50,000 daily again, I still think that the YouTube videos are going to be blowing up, because you see like Baby Nades, his Let's Plays have reached millions, and yet no one's playing DayZ. It's like, who's watching this? It's like people still want to watch DayZ.
Mate,
millions of people. In fact.
Again, I'm looking at your page right now. 50,000 views on your video 2 weeks ago. DayZ Beta is here, and that's for your channel. I know other people who've done videos about it, and they had hundreds of thousands of views. There is still interest out there, but most people are just saying, "Oh, wait until it's fucking done." There's the fanboys and the haters who are at the extremes of it, but the majority of people are sitting in the middle, just waiting for it to be in a state where they can turn it back on and go, "Oh yeah, this is fun again."
Yep, they are, and I think there's a lot of them. So I really hope modding. I think modding will save that. I think the devs just have to place it in the right spot.
My big thing, Belzelga, if you're still listening, mate, I know that was a very long answer from the pair of us, but find something that makes you unique. For Jake, that's his, he does his status report reviews, not a highlight. That Septic Falcon does the highlights. Jake goes into it in a bit more detail with a review, talking more on the different points of it, and he also does a lot of tutorials and so on. So that's him. If you're just going to be uploading footage, you've got to find something that makes you different to stand out from everyone else out there. I haven't found that yet. That's why I do interviews, because I can talk to people much more talented than myself.
No.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is from Powerline Tyler. In your opinion, what is it about DayZ that separates it from other games in its genre?
See, that's a good question, because
I like
I like that one a lot, because the people always say how crappy the DayZ dev team is and how they've had so long to do it, and I'm like, okay, if they've done such a bad job, something should have replaced it by now. Like people had so much time. In fact, you see that like Arma 2, as soon as people saw the Arma 2 DayZ success, I'm surprised it was Bohemia that hopped on it first. Like, you would have thought other companies took it over, said, okay, we're gonna make a game on this. But it was Bohemia that did it. Still has taken them forever, not even done yet. And no one, there's games out there like Miscreated. I think Miscreated probably is the closest. And it's honestly, the answer is so just like feelsy. Like there's not much specific. I think it's the world size for one. I think it's difficulty of making a game like it. You'd have to tell me what games are even in the same genre, because honestly, they're so different. Scum would probably be the closest. You got Scum and Miscreated right now. That are maybe, I'm trying to think of any other competitors in the direct type of game. And I think the problem is that Rust maybe. And I think people did play Rust a good amount, actually. I think
there's 7 Days to Die and Survive the Nights. The Nights, where you just forget they've ever happened. I backed it and bought a copy of it and was going, what the fuck?
Oof. Yep. I would say what makes it different is it's the map size, along with the funniness that can, like, there's still fun in it, and it's not it. The dev team tries to make it take itself seriously. Like, Dean Hall really wanted to do that, but in the end, it doesn't necessarily take itself too seriously. Like, it's not. The zombies aren't super hard. It's a lot of it is based around player encounters, and it's still fun. You got the megaphone. You can tie people up. Like, they're never that serious encounters. They're hilarious, and that's so fun. So I really think it's the combination of like atmosphere where you can have some fun, but then also just this vast world to have player encounters. So otherwise, it just kind of scratches its own itch. I don't know why other games don't, but it's kind of magical.
I think that was a great point, and I'm actually, Tyler, going to steal that question, I think, and add it to my list of questions I ask everyone. But you hit the nail on the head with the answer you gave, mate. Brilliantly done.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope that's good enough. I hope that's good enough for him too. So there you go.
Were there any particular streamers or YouTubers who inspired you to start playing DayZ, other than, we'll say, Frankie?
No, because I don't even know if I'd watched much content on it before. Like I said, it was my friend Zeth played the Arma 2 mod, and when my computer was good enough to run it, he's like, "Hey, they're making this standalone game's coming out tonight. Like, we should all play it." And wow, we just grinded it. We'd spawn a Bearzino and run up to the Northeast Airfield, and it was just rinse repeat, and it was a blast. And then I was like, man, there's still a whole world out there. So it gave me so much to experience and do. So I don't know. I mean, I really think it was just him that got me into the game, and then after that is when I would look up tutorials or start watching videos. But really, with DayZ, it was no YouTube content that got me to start playing it. Yeah.
And now we're going to move on to the final questions. The first one we're going to start with, mate, is I want to get a bit of drama. I want to get a bit of drama happening for you. Let's get some hype about you. I like that we have both you and Septic Falcon both doing unique takes on the status reports. Who does it better, though?
Does it better?
I haven't left you much wiggle room on that one, have I?
I know. Well, here, I'll put it this way. I think that they're different enough. I mean, I want to go ahead and first say, I don't even think it's that, like, as much as it is what I do and unique, it's not, like, it's very easy. It's easy content, but it's about how you talk about it. Like, the only difference is how you talk about it. And when I watched his, it was his, and man, there's another YouTuber that used to do them. He doesn't even do that anymore. I can't even remember his name. Like, it's all he did is like DayZ status reports, like literally no tutorials, no epic videos. It was just like, it was just status reports. And I remember watching his Septic Falcons and just thinking that I wish there's more. I wanted there to be more explanation to it. And I thought that enough of the status report, was not being covered. I thought it was being overlooked because I felt like after I watched them, I still wanted to go and read the status report. And sure, that's totally fine. But I think there's a lot of people who don't want to go read the status report. So I thought I would go a little bit more into more detail and then just kind of explain how the effects of each one. So better, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't ever. I don't try to make mine like his. So I like mine better in that sense. But I really think that there's room for. I think there's different people, so they're gonna like both of them. I'm too careful with my answer. Sorry.
No, that's fine, mate. And that's actually how I found you, was looking for more information on them. Septic does a great job. For those who don't have the time to read it, they can go and watch his summarization of it. And he does expand on it a little bit, but predominantly he just feeds back what was said in the status report with his own opinion on a couple of things. Whereas yours, you delve more into it. And that's how I found you, because I was thinking that we needed that myself. And I did a search, and sure enough, someone was already doing it. And that's how I found your channel a couple of months back, mate.
I didn't actually know that. I don't think I knew that, so that's good to know.
Yeah. What are your honest thoughts on the state of DayZ heading towards full release?
I think that the game, gosh, I think the game's doing fine. Like, I totally understand the fact that there's some delays. Like, it's a new engine, and it's like what's happening is totally understandable. It's just them being so confident in this December release from a year ago, or 2018 release a year ago, and then being so confident in how much 0.62 stuff will be in it. I really just feel like that was overdone. Like, I think that it's funny. It doesn't seem like they need too many more months to get it to a state where everybody's happy. So really what it feels like, if you're going to steal something I said, or, the Promised Land quote you made up, or you were saying there, that's totally accurate, because what it's like, with the Promised Land story, God is like, hey, there's a Promised Land.
Yep.
But before you get there, you're going to wander around all these years, and then it'll be amazing when you get there. Well, the difference is DayZ has been letting us wander around inside of this, like, to be done, like this to be continued Promised Land. And it's getting like a little boring just waiting and waiting and waiting inside it for the good stuff to come. And it's just really kind of silly. And I think that as much as the game will be fine eventually, like, I totally don't think anything's screwed. I just think 1.0 was supposed to be this amazing return of everybody. And I don't think it's going to be that. I really think it's going to be, because it's not going to feel that much different than what it feels right now. Like, it's a pretty fun game right now.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be more stable, and I can't say for sure. I don't think what's keeping people away right now is just the stability. A little bit is the title. Like, I think people are still waiting on 1.0. I think the majority of people don't know that it's not, that most of the content's in right now. But I don't feel what I don't feel good about is the label. I don't like it's called 1.0.
Yeah.
And I don't like what the community is going to think about that. Like, it's just going to be constant comments. I mentioned this in kind of a rant video of mine. It's going to be constantly people looking for loot that they remember and then being told it's not there yet. And just a laugh of condescendingness towards the dev team for why is this not in a 1.0 game? And like, as much as
a lot of people feel the same.
Oh, yeah. It's just too bad because I think that it's ruining a lot of the people that could be returned to the game, and who knows if they'll give it another chance.
Yeah. How many people do you think they should have per server?
I think, I mean, honestly, between 80 and 100, maybe at 100. The problem is I genuinely believe they need to change spawn points up. Like, there's still too many people on the coast when there's on these 100 people servers, especially the ones that spawn you with a gun or something. Like, no one goes inland. I really think they need to spawn more people inland, at least maybe down the coast even. But because the coasts are overpopulated. But to return off that, you've got these areas like the Northwest Airfield that they're so big, and you can tell they're built for more people than like 50 people on a server. The Northwest Airfield is just absolutely massive, and I think that's awesome. But it needs more players at it. And I think this massive map, just like I said, what makes DayZ fun is the player interactions at its core. I really think is it for probably 75% of people, if not more. And when you don't have enough people, that's an issue. So I think somewhere around 100 people is probably a sweet spot, at least for Chernarus. I mean, there can be smaller maps in the future, I think, anyways. So those can maybe have less people, but yeah.
It was interesting that you say that about spawning inland when we were talking earlier about spawn points and that, and how easy it is when you spawn and you know where you are straight away. I reckon if they moved most of the spawns, say 500 meters to 1,000 meters in from the coast, and not have you actually spawn bang on the coast now, that would in itself just blow people's minds, because a lot of the time that area from about 500 meters to 1,000 meters, particularly where it's bushland, most people don't go in there. They run along the coast and they follow the main roads. The few times I've been, because I was thinking about it when I said it, the few times I've had to sit there and think, fuck, where am I? It's when I haven't spawned bang on the coast. It's when I've spawned in one of those rare spawns you get, which is inland, in the middle of a forest, and you're like, where the fuck am I? Don't you love that feeling when you go, I have no fucking idea where I am, and it's such a relief. Here I am.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Gosh, in fact, I wish. I mean, personally, a change I would make would be to. I mean, I guess I could answer this earlier. Kind of just popped in my head. I've thought about it before. Is to put players like have these hard. They're already kind of hard set spawn points, right? Like it chooses a random one for you, but like they don't. It's random among a certain amount of choices. I think that they should spawn you at a setting. So sure, some people do spawn dead center of Cherno, maybe up in an apartment, like on top of it, maybe. Like that'd be so cool. And then like there's a little bit like then you loot the building you're at, or maybe like rather than maybe spawn you in the middle of the bush or the woods there, put you at like a single log cabin in the woods, and then that way you have a little bit of food possibly or something. Like you get lucky with what you spawn at, but like give it some little bit of story, because right now you spawn on a road or on some sand and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like why are you washing up on shore? Why am I on the road? Like spawn me in a city, in a house, something like that. Or I don't know, I just think that there's more they can do with the spawns. Just and if they change that, like maybe there's more of an animation to it when you spawn in. Like it's been the same for so long that I think that would be one way to kind of freshen up the game, and it's very easy change. I mean, that does not sound hard to do. So yeah.
Now, this is something else I thought about before when you said about your little brother wanting to buy the game. What advice would you give to people thinking about buying DayZ? Now, my advice to you on your little brother is buy it. But tell him not to play it yet, or if he does, only to play PvP service. So he can get used to the PvP mechanics of the game and see the core element of it. But buy it if he's interested in it, because the price is going to go up at full release, so they've said. I don't know whether they will, because I think that would be a bit of a jip. The implication was always that full release was going to be full content, and it's not going to be that case, so we'll have to wait and see whether the price does go up. But what advice would you give?
Man, it's hard because like I actually have a video that did pretty well. Like it was back when I wasn't too popular with DayZ. It was like should you buy DayZ in 2017 or 2018? I forget what year I did it. And at the time I had like it was pretty easy to develop opinion on it, and it was, I mean, obviously wasn't a clear yes or no, and it still isn't. But The problem, I would say that, like you said, if you know you're going to be getting it, if all you're waiting for in the game is like is something that modders can do, then buy it because it's going to be done. Like if you think that if you want more PvP or you want more vehicles or more loot or more zombies or less zombies, like that's going to happen. I can tell you it now. Don't even worry about what the dev team does. Like sure, it might take them another 6 months, but like it's going to get done because they're not going to abandon this game. So if you know what you're waiting on, then buy it because like it's going to happen. I really have no doubt about that. It's just how long it takes. But the problem comes, and this is a little bit more with my brothers. I don't know how he doesn't play a lot of slow games, so this could be his barrier or his entry to it. But on the other hand, he could still find it just too boring, or take too long to get the interactions to be worthwhile to him. So for those sort of people, you really need to just, I hate to recommend it, but you get about 2 hours of playtime before you can refund on Steam. So either play on a friend's account, watch a lot of content on it. Either watch a lot of content on it and understand this is highlighted content, or try it however you want to try it first.
That's a really good point about the only having 2 hours before you could refund it. That's you can't find it. DayZ takes hundreds of hours to get a feel for.
It's hard. Yeah, I mean, once you're I don't want to say good at it, but once you've done it for quite a while, it's not that hard to survive. But I do remember in the beginning, like I said, I was dying very often from people and not knowing where food was and not knowing. It's hard to really see it from a new person's view, like how hard it is to find food and stuff. Like especially if they think they should be checking an entire apartment and there's no loot in there. Like it's kind of there's things to learn. So I don't know. It's a hard game. I don't think it ever will be as big as Fortnite or PUBG was because of the a little bit of difficulty it has. But I think if you know what you're waiting for, and for some, like I just really think all that's going to be coming. So if that's your case, then definitely, I still recommend it. So yeah.
Mate, the final question. What can we expect from you in the future? Now, you mentioned streaming.
A little bit, yeah. I did mention that. Are you ready for me to answer that?
Yeah.
The question. Yeah. So, I mean, I expect to be uploading more. I don't upload a ton now because of the lack of, for one, people playing. I don't have a lot of friends that are currently playing it. Some of them are trying it again. So expect obviously more status report videos, especially once 1.0 comes out. Like I said, I really do think that they're going to be more juicy. So there's going to be a lot of new content they're adding. I want to start doing some mod reviews and just trying them out because I don't know how hard it's going to be to swap between mods and all this, but like a lot of times people want to really know what it's like to play a mod before it's out, and I really do think that trying mods out and not screwing up your own game and doing your own things to get a feel for it and tell people what they can expect before they go out and download it is going to be a thing. So expect mod reviews and talking about new maps that might be coming, and with friends playing, I expect to have some more just more highlight videos of just kind of me playing it. Those are hard because they take a lot of time you have so many hours of footage and like only certain funny things happen. But and I guess the last thing I'll mention is streaming is iffy because it's so hard for me to, with roommates, time it correctly. I mean, you have a kid and or a family around you, so like you probably understand that.
Yeah.
But just having people around you that rely on your time in school, it's hard to do a streaming schedule. So I can't be too consistent with it. But I do plan on doing doing a pretty decently long Let's Play come 1.0. So that would be
awesome.
One thing to say. Yeah, I really enjoy Let's Plays, and I just haven't felt confident doing it with all these updates. So yeah.
Mate, I want to say thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, listening to this interview or watching it on YouTube, please go and check out his channel. He deserves a lot more subs than he's got. Admittedly, he's got fucking a shit ton more than I do. But his content is worth you watching. Between his tutorials and informative ones, he does some other content as well. He did a great video which was woefully underviewed on the new game coming out, Dead Matter, which I've backed as well. I'm hoping I don't get stung like Survive the Nights, but everything I've seen, mate, it looks fucking amazing.
It does look good.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. I mean, I don't know what I deserve or don't deserve, but to any of you guys that are like, I understand like there's probably not a lot of you still listening necessarily, but for those of you that have stuck with it, especially if you've never heard of me, I want to say, even if you don't come check out the channel, like thanks for listening in. Boydie does a great thing here with these interviews, and it's awesome that you've gotten to speak to people like Brian Hicks and stuff. I mean, that's really cool.
It blows my mind, mate. It does.
Yeah,
I'm a
awesome.
dickhead fucking yobbo Aussie. And I get to speak to some of the most amazing content creators out there, yourself included, mate. It blows my mind all the time.
Well, no, thank you so much for having me, and I wish you the most success, and I hope that one day these are the kind of videos that, let's say your channel blows up sometime. Like this kind of stuff people can go back and watch for sure.
It's why I wanted to do it. If someone asked me the other day
yeah.
what inspired me to start doing these, and I went, one, no one else was doing them. And two, particularly, most people release little snippets of information about themselves and their thoughts of DayZ across a multitude of videos and streams and tweets and all the rest of it. This is somewhere, if you're interested in the Running Man, if you're interested in Septic Falcon, this is one video where you can go and you can find out the majority of that information all in one place. It's just a little snapshot of it. I love DayZ. I love all these people who are loving DayZ as much as I do and doing everything they can to support it. It needs all the help it can get at the moment. And
true.
Yeah, no, that's why I do it.
Yep, you've got something there, and I really do think that it'll be the place to be to go watch like information on these people. So it's awesome that you've got these long videos full of it. So I love that.
Mate, thank you so much once again. And if you are not aware, everyone, the next DayZ Spotlight is going to be on the one, the only Mr. Blackout. The video is already up on my channel. The question submissions is on Reddit. So please feel free to check that out. Once again, Jake, thank you so much, mate. I'll let you sign off and say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah, guys, again, thanks for checking it out. If you want to check out the channel, do it. Feel no pressure to subscribe, but check out a video, see if you like the style. And I hope to see some of you guys in the comment section below, and keep on watching Boydie too. So this has been awesome, and I really enjoyed being here.
Links are in the description, folks. Ciao for now.